Good afternoon and welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com, as always presented by Heinemann and Associates. I'm Alex Napolis, happy to be joined today by Alex Tumalip. We're here for the 4A championship match between the number 1 Green Canyon and the number 3 Park City Miners. Tumalip, how you feeling about this matchup?
You know what? This is an interesting matchup because this is the number one of the best offensive teams in 4A in Park City going up against one of the best defensive teams in Green Canyon in 4A. So you have yin and yang on both sides. This is a matchup I think everybody was probably looking at coming into Friday, saying this could result in an instant classic. And because of the fact that this is a championship match and it's between two teams that, historically, don't exactly, both people don't think have the pedigree to be here. There's been a long history of good teams between these two squads, and now we get to finally see them face off in a championship match.
Now, Green Canyon is a newer school. They don't necessarily have the experience here on this stage, but Kurt Sadler and his team, after seeing the boys win their first championship in the spring, they're now here with the girls team in a championship match looking for that first championship.
Yeah, and it's interesting talking to Coach Sadler just a few minutes ago. He said to us, our game plan really hasn't changed that much from the past couple of weeks, but when he talked about this stage, being on this stage for this team, they were so motivated by their boys' counterparts winning the being here in the final. Now they get to be here on this stage trying to duplicate what their male counterparts did.
For Park City, it's been an impressive season and a good bounce-back season. Last year they finished 5-11. They didn't make it to the playoffs last season. Now they moved to 4A, and they've had a tremendous season, 17-2 overall, 12-0 in region play, including wins against Stansbury, who is one of the top teams in 4A.
Right, and we talked with head coach Anthony DeChico before the game. He talked about how Stansbury was one of the toughest teams they'd faced coming into this match, and now they're facing potentially their toughest defensive test against Green Canyon, a very organized team and a very disciplined team. It's going to be a fun match to see how this all shakes down this afternoon.
Park City, the 5-time state champion, gets us rolling, and we're underway here at America First Field. The Miners in the white shooting to the right of your screen, and Green Canyon in the black shooting to the left. Green Canyon win possession back, and now recovered in the middle of the park by Salem Hull, and it goes out of bounds and out.
And while we have a moment here, Heinemann Associates keys to the game presented by the Full Service Law Firm, fully committed to winning for you. It just brought up what I just said. On the side of Green Canyon, it's going to be discipline. We talked about Kurt Sadler before the game. Their discipline on defense is going to be most key. They'll have a lot of opportunities for sure, but they're going to have to make the most of them when they come. But their defensive discipline is probably going to be the key to this afternoon, because Park City is just so free-flowing, so wide open. They're almost like what we saw with Lone Peak in the 6A final just a few minutes ago. But on the other side for Park City, you got to make them pay. You got to make them pay for their mistakes. You got to make them pay for the openings in the channels like we see down here coming to our near side. That's a sign of what we could see here coming this afternoon from Park City. If those channels start to open up, they got to make them pay.
Both of these teams coming in to this one on impressive runs and playing really good soccer overall. Green Canyon, 11-game win streak heading into this one. They also started the year with some couple of key victories against Clearfield, who's one of the top teams in 5A this season, and Layton, who played in the semifinal of the 6A. They were able to get wins in those. And then on the other side, Park City, 15-game win streak coming into this championship match. That ball out wide to Ma. Ma will play it up to Miller. Miller looking to play it up the sideline once more. It's being chased down, and it'll go out of bounds and out.
Annapolis, just to touch on what you just said with the wins against Layton and Clearfield, those are, like you said, two of the powerhouses in girls soccer the last few years. Region 1 overall, we were talking to Vince Francis, our cameraman here, in between games. He talked about how Region 1 really has historically dominated girls soccer. So not really a surprise to see that, Clearfield moving down to 5A didn't really change all that much for them. They're still the dominant force that they were. And Layton also, you talk about they were 6 seed, but they could easily have been here if it weren't for one more bounce that went their way in that semi against LP.
Ball out of bounds and out. It's going to be Haberstick to throw it in for Green Canyon, and Chloe Sadler gets one of her first touches of the afternoon. And I got to tell you, too, Malip, I have been incredibly impressed by Chloe Sadler, the freshman who is a playmaker on this team. As Sadler gets in behind and takes the shot into the hands of Olivia Johnson. But those are the opportunities that Chloe Sadler thrives on.
She is a poacher. And, we talked with Coach Sadler before the match. She has just had an impressive youth career already. I mean, got to play with the under 15s this year against Germany and the Netherlands. I mean, those are some of the top in the country you're talking about as far as the U.S. youth national teams go. She's already up there for her age, and she's already on a stage like this playing high school soccer. I mean, I'm guaranteeing you right now, you'll probably see her play for the U.S. women's national team someday. And here she is right now going to the middle.
Miller filters it through to Winder. Winder with an opportunity, takes the shot, looking for the far post, and puts it wide. A good opportunity for Green Canyon.
You can see those runs in behind early, Annapolis. They're trying to attack that back line, especially the little gap in between those two center backs, in between the posts. Again, that's what we talked about. The Green Canyon forwards, they are very, very dangerous. I mean, Sadler up there as well. When she gets her opportunity, she can slip in behind, create that little bit of space in behind, and here comes the press.
One back, high up the pitch, settled to Miller. Miller taking the shot. Tries to take it first time, not the best of connections, and so it goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick. But look, what you were talking about with those balls being played in behind, they had so many opportunities like that against Ridgeline, but they unfortunately just couldn't capitalize on those opportunities, and so they need to take those and be a little bit more clinical if they want to get past this Park City Miners side.
Yeah, right. And again, it's like, but you don't want to get into a track meet, right? We were talking with Kurt Sadler before the match, Annapolis, and he was telling us that, the one thing they don't want to do is they don't want to start throwing shots at goal willy-nilly, because that would open up space in the back for that Green Canyon defense. Like I said, their defense has to remain disciplined throughout this match.
Sadler brings it down, trying to turn and play it up the pitch. That ball goes out wide, and here come the Wolves once again trying to build an attack. Miller overlapping, gets it to Austin Miller, and taking it up the sideline. Opportunity here for Green Canyon. That ball played into the middle as Sadler now comes up with it. Back to Sadler. And once again, dangerous opportunities for Green Canyon. And here come the Miners trying to build some possession of their own as that ball's filtered through. Abby Hanson running off of it. Hanson taking it towards the edge of the box, cuts back inside, looks to turn. Haberstick with a huge defensive effort. That ball out wide now to Roderick. Hatton up the sideline, looking more to connect to Roderick, and a foul called in a dangerous position here. Set piece opportunity coming up for the Miners.
And this is from a dangerous area too, Annapolis, about 20, 25 yards out right here. It's a big test early on for this Green Canyon defense here, just about 7 minutes in. A dangerous area to work from. Let's see how this Kurt Sadler defense reacts to this early set piece, because you're in a really dangerous spot here about 25 yards out from goal.
Gendel Hassel has very good delivery. She's very good at those set pieces and getting the balls into the mix. We'll see what Hassel is able to do here on the free kick. Looking to float one in, far post. Takes a bounce, and then Sutton Hole at the far post couldn't put it in.
That was close. I mean, I think it came off a Green Canyon head actually in the end, Annapolis, off that back post. They're trying to set it up to that back post, but great reaction there defensively to force that wide. And now on a counterattack, here comes Green Canyon.
Roderick gets a foot on it, out to Hastings. And Rachel Roderick, the junior, coming across defensively well to make sure Hastings didn't have an opportunity. But Green Canyon on the attack. Haberstick here on the near side to take the throw. Settles it for Hastings. Hatton gets a foot on it. And that ball now in a foot race between Haberstick and Hanson. Abby Hanson doing fantastic here to win it back. And here come the Miners out to Hole. Sutton Hole. Doesn't get the best of touches on it. Now back out to Hole. Hole with an opportunity. Taking it to the edge of the box. Has options. Yeah, she goes into the 18 against Wheeler, gets past Wheeler, and then Chloe Sadler coming back defensively to clear.
To me, it looks like right now Green Canyon is playing almost with a back three with wingbacks out on the far side. And you can see that one-on-one battle, the size of Abby Hansen down on that wing side, really causing problems for the wingbacks there on the side of Green Canyon. But right now, it looks like Kurt Sadler, Annapolis, comfortable with going with that back three for the moment.
When you talked about these two teams being the high scoring versus the best defensive, Green Canyon coming into this one with 51 goals on the year, 10 conceded all season long. Park City have scored 72 goals and have conceded 23 on the year. And that ball out of bounds, and Habersick will now have a throw in here on the near side. And look, Park City, we were talking to Coach DeChico prior to the match, and he said that this team is about being a team. There's so many good leaders, so many people on this squad that have pushed them through to this final, and now they have that opportunity here to just continue that leadership and continue being the team, Abby Hansen being one of them. Park City, as that ball is filtered through Sutton Hole, the cross into the box, takes a touch, and then coming across defensively is the Wolves trying to clear, and they do. Those types of opportunities, what makes the Miners so dangerous, as now Hastings recovers.
Makes me just wonder on the cutback why that wasn't hit first time, because that ball was just rolling up on a tee. And I'm not sure why she had to felt like she had to take a touch right there, but that kind of took away from that opportunity to hit it first time, because there was absolute yards of space in between the posts.
Good idea from Hatton to try to switch the play, but cut out by Green Canyon. Here come the Wolves. Nice through ball to Sadler. Chloe Sadler back to Austin Miller, who doesn't get the best of touches, and it'll just roll into the hands of Olivia Johnson.
Annapolis, a lot of wide open play here in this first about 10 minutes of the match. You have to think that favors Park City, because they're finding a lot of gaps out on that wide channel, taking advantage of those one-on-one matchups out on the wing side. But on the other side for Green Canyon, they've been able to find space in between the two center backs for the Miners. So a lot of wide open play here in this early going.
Sadler, nice ball back to Miller. Austin Miller now in a foot race trying to beat Hazel Cook to it. And that ball out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Look, another thing I want to touch on here early in the broadcast is that in the semifinals, both of these teams left it late. They left it great. They gave us drama. They gave us intrigue. And I expect the same thing today, because these are two evenly matched sides.
Oh, yeah. And when you're talking about, like we said, this is number one against number three. There's a reason why these two teams attract the best in 4A all season long. So we wouldn't expect really anything less. I mean, even if this thing doesn't go to extra time or a penalty shootout, we still expect there's going to be a lot of late drama here in this one.
Habersick will now clear it out for Green Canyon. Bringing it down is Winder, who doesn't get the cleanest of touches. And now Park City recovering in their attacking third. Here comes Hanton. Hole back on the sideline to Roderick, taking it into the box. Hastings is there defensively, and the BYU commit coming across well.
Yeah, Jennifer Rockwood probably clapping her hands somewhere watching Hastings go at it right there defensively. Great cut across right there, because it's so risky to take a touch like that when you're in the penalty area as a defender. You don't want to pull the person down, but at the same time, you don't want to let them through on goal. Just great discipline right there from Hastings as a center back to come up and make that play.
Ball by Green Canyon, looking to play it up. Sadler now tracking it. Nicely won. Hassel out to Hanton. Hanton will try it. Can't put it on frame. Trying to hit it first time. And it'll just sneak past and go out for the goal kick.
Yeah, I thought I saw a shout for a handball there for a second, Annapolis. It looked like that ball might have deflected off of a defender's arm in the penalty area right there. Green Canyon probably lucky to get away with that one right there.
VAR in high school soccer?
Let's not go there.
That ball.
Let's not go there with the VAR discussion.
Austin Miller will play out wide in the direction of Winder. Nicely cut out by Yeager. who comes across, but a foul called as Park City Miners get a free kick.
Annapolis, you just get the feeling like this is going to be not only a fast-paced game, but this is going to be a real physical game. We've already had 4 fouls called in this match. We're barely even 15 minutes in. We've already had 4 more fouls called, I think, than we had our entire match between LP and AF. This is going to be a good one.
Cut out by Green Canyon. Winder now trying to play it up. Out wide to Jensen. Jensen has all the time and space on that sideline. Settles it to Miller. Back out to Jensen. Jensen looking to cut back for support. Does. Supports herself with Ma. Ma in the middle of the park now for Winder. Winder lets it roll to Cragen. Cragen looking to play it out wide to Hastings. And here comes Hastings with an opportunity for the Wolves. Hastings taking it into the box. Trying to put it on frame and gets it on the other side of the post. Good opportunity once more for the Wolves.
And good piece of play there, playing it through the midfield, playing it through that wide channel. And Abby Hastings coming up from her wingback position all the way up the field, making almost a 20-yard run to get into that wide area. Great read that time by Hastings.
Haberstick will now regain possession for the Wolves. Cragen looking to play it back in the direction of Goebel. Goebel with a heavy touch. Park City trying to win it back and then giving away. Here comes Hanson trying to play it through to Salem Hull. That ball floated over the top. Hanson trying to get on the end of it. Nice defensive read from Wheeler. Still Hanson for the Miners. Here comes Park City. Hull out wide to Roderick. Roderick looking to float one in towards the top of the 18. Bounces over a Miner and a Wolf, and now cleared out by Green Canyon. Miller brings it down. Out to Winder. Winder back to Miller. Miller with an opportunity here in the middle of the park to take it up. Miller looking to play it out wide to Jensen. Here comes a good opportunity for the Wolves. Jensen taking it up the wing on the far side. The cross. Only Miners there as Sadler now settles it for Hastings. Here comes an opportunity as Sadler looking to turn. The shot over the bar. How about the buildup from Green Canyon, just pass after pass?
And that time they caught Park City out. Their their fullbacks were caught up the field. You saw only their 2 center backs were back there defending the play, so that just left acres of space for Austin Miller to run down that channel untouched. And again, like you said, Annapolis, great build-up play right there. Maybe just one too many passes if I'm being a little bit picky about it. Maybe that's one I'd like to see Chloe Sadler take on herself. But again, great build-up, like you said, from Green Canyon. They look dangerous. Both teams do here in the early going.
24:40 left to go. Tied at 0-0 between the number 1 and the number 3 in 4A. Here comes Green Canyon once more as that ball looking to play it wide, but Yeager steps up and cuts it out for Park City. Here come the Miners. That ball in the middle of the park now for Hull. Sutton Hull takes a big touch, and then it comes back out wide to Abby Hanson. Hatton with a nice little flick to get it over. Foot race now between Haberstick and Hanson. And Haberstick with a crunching tackle, no call as Hanson's down behind the play, but here comes Green Canyon. The ball out wide to Hastings. Here comes an opportunity for the Wolves as Hastings looking to take the shot, and big save by Johnson. And we'll have a stop and play as the officials will now bring it back so the trainers can take a look at Abby Hanson. Luckily, she's back on her feet. And because that minor athletic training staff is coming on, Hanson will have to come off.
Yeah, that was a big-time hit that time from Haversick, and you could see Tony DeChico not happy with the official.
Absolutely not.
No, on that far sideline. That's still a pretty big loss there for Park City that Abby Hanson's now going off the field. A big piece of their offensive attack now just goes off the field. But again, great build-up play there from the Green Canyon Wolves as, you know, Hastings again getting into that space down the far channel. You kind of do feel that with the injury to Hanson, you kind of do feel now the pressure's really going to be on that defense there for the Park City Miners because they've allowed a lot of space here for that Green Canyon attack to roam, especially down the channels on the far sides.
And so after the play, We'll have a drop ball to get things rolling again here at America First Field. Olivia Johnson, too, coming up huge. The junior goalkeeper making a big save against Hastings to keep this one at 0-0 prior to the stop. Yeager coming across will clear it out. And off the back of Ma. Ma recovers, only to find Retzer. Retzer looking to connect with Hull. Does. And now it's going to be up the sideline by Park City. Here comes a great opportunity for the Miners. Have the pass to play Retzer through, but unfortunately didn't get the best of touches on the ball. One back by the Wolves. Winder will now look to play it up the sideline. Yeager coming across to try to close down the space. Nice little bit of skill from Jensen. But the Wolves now with an opportunity as Winder back out to Jensen. And a little too much there. Goal kick. We're already almost halfway through the first half, and we still yet to talk about the players to watch because it's been back-to-back nonstop action. Keep an eye on Austin Miller for Green Canyon, 14 goals, 5 assists on the year. Winder, who has 10 goals, 6 assists, and Chloe Sadler coming to this one with 7 goals and 9 assists. The freshman who scored the golazo of a free kick to put Green Canyon into this match. For the other side, for Park City, Lauren Kint, who has 13 goals, 9 assists. Abby Hansen, who has 13 goals, 7 assists. And Retzer, off the bench, has 9 goals and 3 assists for Park City. Here comes Green Canyon once more as Hassel steps up well. Wheeler intercepts out wide to Hastings. Nice defensive read there from Sophia Thim to win it back. And now Thim looking to play it up the sideline. Crunching tackle as Eliza Allen comes across. And we'll have the foul, but the referee being a little lenient on the cards.
Yeah, like I said, it has been a physical first 19, 20 minutes or so here in this one. Pretty surprising. Gotta be careful here if you're Green Canyon. A lot of danger could be here.
Sadler cuts it out. Cook steps up. Looking to play it out wide to Yeager. Yeager trying to track it. She does. And then brought down by Jensen. Referee says play on. Back to Ma. Ma, who ball goes through the foot of Kelsley Ma, and it's going to be out of bounds and out for a throw-in high up the pitch for Park City. The last time the Miners were able to win a state championship was back in 2005. We talked about 4-year droughts in the last one, but this one has been a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, a little bit longer than that. Look out here.
Here comes a clearance from Goswick as that ball will go out of bounds and out for the Green Canyon throw, but we'll have some substitutions coming up for the Wolves.
You know, Tony DeChico's got to be pulling his hair out right now because it's the same thing over and over again, Annapolis. We keep seeing it, right? I mean, every time Green Canyon comes on the attack, they're attacking right through those channels on the midfield side because their fullbacks are just so high up the field. They really have no chance to get back. I mean, look how high they're pressing with. They're pressing with 3. They're pressing with 2. And yet Green Canyon is always building with 3. You always have Sadler, Hastings, and Miller out on the far sideline. That's an adjustment Tony DeChico's got to make. He's got to find a way to close that space down in between the channels. Otherwise, Green Canyon might just have free roam to go the rest of the way.
Goswick will step up and cut that one out. Sophia Thim looking to play it up. Lands at the feet of Retzer. Retzer with a ball over the top, but Goebel will just track it down. And now Bella Goebel has an opportunity to play it out of the back. Sadler in the middle of the park. Now ball out now to Cragen. Back to Sadler. Sadler just spraying around passes out wide to Eliza Allen. Sadler again. Winder. Nice ball through to Knight. And now Jace Knight looking to cross it into the box. Pulls it back. Settles it for Winder. Winder back out to Sadler. Sadler scanning, looking, floats one in, comes off the back of the Wolves, and the Wolves still here with an opportunity as Austin Miller will now take it to the far side, cuts back inside, nice little bit of skill. The shot takes a deflection off of a Miner defender, and now Park City trying to break. Back out wide. And into the middle for Cragen. Cragen to Winder. Winder takes a touch, gets past one. The shot over the bar and out for the goal kick.
Yeah, and if you're Green Canyon, why not? Why not? Because you could see what that's done to them now. You could see they played so wide out on the edges there, Annapolis. Their fullbacks are pressing so high up the pitch that it's opened up that space. Now that when they go to close down that space, the center backs are just dropping 3-4 yards back off of them, and it's giving the Wolves just free range to go for goal from out from 20-30 yards.
Ball back in play, cut out. Here comes Sadler. Sadler settles it for Miller. Miller will try it again from distance, and it'll skim past the post. And another shot from distance from Austin Miller. Goal kick coming up. 18 minutes left to go here in the first, and we're tied at 0-0. But Green Canyon's had some good opportunities, probably the most clear ones between the two sides. That ball won up high at the pitch by Green Canyon once more, and now Haberstick will look to play it up. Jensen on that far sideline. Trying to play it back. Haberstick can't keep it in bounds. Possession now with the Miners off the throw. Ball back in play by Park City, and then out of bounds once more. Green Canyon throw, but we'll have a substitution coming up for the Wolves as Hastings checks back in.
You do feel, though, Annapolis, with all this wide open action, it seems like in the last 3 or 4 minutes or so, Park City's been hemmed in their end, and they just haven't been able to clear their lines here for the last 3 or 4 minutes. We saw American Fork get hemmed in for long stretches of time against LP. You kind of do wonder, though, which defense is going to hold up strong, because these are two attacking sides we've seen in the first 20 minutes or so. Which side's going to hold strong defensively could be the key.
Here come the Miners as that ball looking to be played through, but Goebel will just cover as it goes into the hands of Wengreen. And look, I'll say this. In the semifinals against Stansbury, there was moments where Stansbury seemed to just dominate possession. They were finding opportunities to get in behind that Park City Miners defense. But Abby Hansen and the counterattack made a huge difference for Park City. We haven't really seen much counterattacking opportunities for Park City since Abby Hansen stepped out.
And that's the other thing, too, that goes into it is the injury to Abby Hansen. How much does that have on the attack of Park City? Because you lose one of your not only your primary threats on the wing, but you also lose one of your taller threats on the wing, because you saw in the first couple of minutes she was winning those one-on-one battles out on the edge against those center backs. And now with Abby Hansen out of the picture, you know, it's going to be a tough ask for somebody to step up in her place right now. But here Park City's got another free kick and another relatively dangerous position, about 30, 40, 50 yards from goal. Yes, but if you're Green Canyon here, again, can you hold your nerve here? Can you hold your line?
Once more, it's going to be Kendall Hassel to take the cross. Floating near the top of the 18, off the head of a Wolves defender, and now Hastings using her speed to get to it. Goswick is there, cuts it out. Sadler gets a foot on it and ends up at Miller, takes a deflection, and now it's going to be in the middle of the park controlling for Remy Rogers. Rogers with the ball through. Here comes an opportunity for Park City, cut back by Sophia Thim. Back towards the middle, and Green Canyon shutting that down. Good job defensively from the Wolves. Back out to Thim. Takes a deflection off of Hull. And now here comes Hull for Park City. Eliza Allen steps across, cuts it out defensively. Hastings has a chance to break. 2 against 2. Reinforcements coming for Park City. Out wide to Miller. Nice step from Hazel Cook. As Cook will now carry from her sending back position up to Retzer. Retzer waiting for support. And now here it comes with Olsen in the middle of the park. Olsen trying to connect with Holder. Now Holder brings it in. Out wide to Dellenbach. Ella Dellenbach controlling and takes a deflection. It's going to end up back at Hazel Cook. Yeager. Retzer. Ball filtered through to Yeager. Yeager looking to take it to the edge of the box. poked out, and it's going to be a corner kick. And a great set-piece opportunity for Park City.
Probably the most dangerous one they've had, Annapolis, at least thus far. Like you said, we haven't seen a whole lot of Park City on the counterattack, but now with Abby Hansen out and now with a dangerous set piece here, again, big challenge here for Green Canyon to hold their line here. They got a lot of people bunched up on the top of the box. Look like they're going to try to flow to that middle of the goal, try to create chaos.
The cross near post comes off of a Wolf. Goswick with the shot and into the hands of Ivy Wengreen. And Green Canyon can clear their lines.
Great discipline. Sorry, Annapolis, but great discipline right there from GC right there to hold their line and to make sure nobody got close to that goalkeeper. All the black shirts just flowed right to the white shirts coming in.
And this game, I think, has a good chance to be defined by set pieces as well. Set pieces for Green Canyon were very kind to them in that semifinal, and then Park City, Olsen, and Hassel, who scored their goals in the semifinal off of set pieces. Obviously won the Olympico, one off a corner. Set pieces can make a difference here in this 4A championship match. That ball back out now. Park City trying to hit on a counter. Looking out wide for Sophia Thim, but nice defensive recovery by Green Canyon. Ends up at the feet of Knight, and it'll go the other way. Park City with the throw. Takes a bounce. Green Canyon trying to recover, and they do. That ball will go all the way back to Ivy Wengreen. Booted away by Wengreen. Park City still in possession. Retzer now in the middle. Haberstick comes across, gets a boot on it. Sadler trying to bring it down. Haberstick and Thim in a foot race. Haberstick gets a little too much, and a foul will call. Park City ball. We'll take the time to let you know that this part of the match is brought to you by Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag that has you covered during those chilly days and nights. Worry no more about the weather and watch your favorite team in the comfort of Igloo Outfitters. Go to igloooutfitters.com and enter Rewind for $20 off. Never miss the moments.
Annapolis, can be interesting to see how both these teams handle this next 3 to 4 minutes or so. It seems to slow down a little bit after that really fast-paced start. Be key to see how Green Canyon, I think, manages also these next 3 to 4 minutes, because this is exactly where Park City can be dangerous, like they see here.
Bad giveaway, and now cut out defensively by Goebel. Goebel's just going to clear it up. Brought down by Miller. Miller looking to settle into the middle of the park. One back by Park City. Here comes Olsen. Nice step from Allen. Back out wide to Hastings, and now an opportunity for Green Canyon. Hastings against Goswick. Hastings using her speed to take it to the edge of the box. Across comes Rogers. And Austin Miller just unfortunately couldn't get a good touch on the ball. And it'll go into the hands of Johnson. And now Park City can clear their lines. Hassel out to Ella Dellenbach, the freshman, looking to turn. Nice defensive step from Eliza Allen. And that ball goes out of bounds and out for a Park City throw. And we'll have some substitutions coming up for both sides. Mass substitution for Park City.
And again, on that last play, what did we talk about, Annapolis? Playing in the wide channels. Abby Hastings, again, finding space behind that fullback in that little area because there was nobody back. Again, pressing so high up the pitch. That time, Hastings able to get in behind again. And like you said, Austin Miller, unfortunate not to get a better touch on that ball, because if she hits that any cleaner, it's probably 1-0.
And great news for the Miners. Abby Hanton checks back in.
Yeah, that is huge, because now she's going to be matched up right here on the bottom of your screen for those watching at home on that far side, or on our near side, rather. Watch that matchup, that one-on-one battle between her and the center back down here. Again, Green Canyon playing with a 3-back set, playing with five midfielders, playing 2 wing backs, basically, Annapolis. It's interesting to see if they try to filter the ball through to her more often here down the stretch here in this first half.
A little bit of deja vu for me from the semifinals, because in that game against Stansbury, it took Park City a minute to really grow into the match, but once they did, they were so good at cutting out balls, just like the one we almost saw there from Abby Hansen. And the more you let Park City hang around, the more and more they're going to find their opportunities on that counterattack.
Well, it certainly helps, too, Annapolis, when you're giving the ball away with loose passes like Green Canyon's doing right now. There's another one right there.
Hazel Cook steps up. Doesn't get the best touches on it. Now Green Canyon trying to find an opportunity as Goswick is there to cut it out. Park City in possession with Olsen. Olsen looking to play it up to Salem Hole, who's brought down, and another foul called. It's still interesting to see that the referee is calling him, but he's keeping the cards in his pocket.
That's going to be a yellow card right there. Or at least it should be.
Kelsley Ma just coming across and takes down Abby Hansen. Again, we'll get the foul, but the cards stay in the book.
I'm actually very surprised that the referee did not pull a caution right there, because that was a clear no play on the ball right there. But again, another set piece here for Park City. They're going to take it quick.
Ball floated through by Hazel Cook, and it'll just float through and out for the goal kick. Substitutions coming up for the Wolves once more. With 7:15 left to go here in the first, we're tied at 0-0. Wen Green and Green Canyon will have a goal kick to clear it out. It's Eliza Allen who checks back in here on the near side for Ma, who just committed that foul on Abby Hansen. Goebel will play it up. One back by the Miners. Olsen in the middle of the park, playing it to Sutton Hole. That ball to, it's going to be number 6, Madeline Reddy. Will play it out wide to Roderick. Roderick carries up the sideline, and another heavy tackle after the pass, but no call there from the official. And now we'll have a foul once again in Park City. Hazel Cook standing over the ball to take for the Miners. That ball floated in near the top of the box, and it'll just trickle back through to Ivy Wengreen.
Park City's got to take advantage of these set pieces. They've been given so many fouls in so many dangerous areas, too, of the pitch. I mean, they've had like 3 or 4 free kicks, 20, 25 yards out from goal. And like you said, Annapolis, at some point, the set pieces are going to pay dividends, because both teams ended up scoring on set pieces in their semifinal matches. So it's going to be key here for both of these teams, for Park City at least, to take advantage of their opportunities, because it doesn't look like Green Canyon's going to give them a sniff here defensively on free chances.
Here comes the Miners as that ball is just booted out of bounds and out. Throw-in coming up for Park City. We have some substitutions for the Miners as well, as Lulu Brown checks in for Park City. Throw-in coming up for the Miners on the far side. Cut out by the Wolves.
And look at the 4th official down here talking with Kurt Sadler, telling him knock it off because he wanted a foul called on the last play. It's getting a little chippy down there between these two teams.
Lulu Brown now here on the near side to take the throw. Hansen gets ahead on it. Sadler there to intercept. Brought down by Miller. Miller back to Sadler. Sadler in between two, gets it to Miller. Miller will now look to play it, cut it in towards the middle. Wanted to connect there with Winder. Takes a heavy boot off of Madeline Reddy, and so we're going to have a corner kick coming up for Green Canyon.
How about that press break, though, from Chloe Sadler, the freshman? Two defenders around her, and she just slides it calmly in between the two defenders. That is some moxie there for a freshman.
We'll see if Green Canyon decides to play it short. We have Miller and Sadler at the near side for the corner. Sadler will float it in. And off the end line, Green Canyon still here with possession as Miller will float one in, looking for that back post, but can't put it on frame. Seemed like Miller might have had better options on that one, but instead decides to go for a goal. And then Park City can't play it out. It's going to be a throw-in coming up for the Wolves as Winder brings it down. Cut out by Hazel Cook. Out of bounds once more. Throw-in coming up for Green Canyon. Haberstick over on the far side. Settles it for Jensen. Jensen looks to bring it down. Plays it back out to Haberstick. Jensen will bring it down once more. Now played out by Park City. And Goebel will track it down, settle it for Wheeler. Sadler now in the middle of the park, looking to turn. Nice defensive step there from Hassel. Sadler against Hassel once more. Sadler able to float one in the direction of Winder, but Olivia Johnson with a nice heads-up play off her line to collect.
Oh, she's so good, Chloe Sadler. In that attacking midfielder, that deep slot right there. Just a little too much pace on that ball. But now here comes another chance.
Miller taking it from distance, just over the bar. Not too far off there from Austin Miller. As we have substitutions coming up once more for the Miners. But a good opportunity for Miller.
So sloppy giveaways right now, Annapolis, that are killing Park City. They weren't able to play it out from the back of that goal kick, like you said. But then on that last one, a sloppy pass in the middle of the park allows Chloe Sadler that space to slot in between those two center backs.
That ball takes a bounce, and now it's going to be Dellenbach who brings it down. And now here comes Park City. Nicely defended there, and by Haberstick. Haberstick taken down. Foul free kick coming up for Green Canyon.
Yeah, that was not a smart foul right there. That ball was rolling out towards the end line. I know you wanted to prevent the goal kick, but you got to know where you are on the field. That's not a smart foul to take.
1:45 left to go. Let's see if either one of these teams can find the breakthrough prior to the half. 0-0 as things still stand. Hazel Cook will come across to cut it out. That one goes out wide to Galindo. Galindo playing it back into the middle for Roderick. Roderick trying to connect once more with Galindo. And like you mentioned, Alex, this one's getting a little bit chippy.
Yeah, a lot of hits after the whistle, after the ball goes out of play. A lot of fouls here in the first half. It's just been really, really slow, to say the least, even though both teams have had their opportunities here in this first half.
Galindo can't cut that one out. Goes through the legs, and now Green Canyon trying to play it out. Sutton Hole wins it high up the pitch. Or excuse me, that's Salem Hole. And now that ball floated through, and Ivy Wengreen off her line. Almost took an awkward bounce, but she's able to recover well. 45 seconds left. Wengreen will punt it away. And Hassel gets a good step as it goes out of bounds and out. 30 seconds left. We'll see if Green Canyon can make something here. Hassel wins it back after taking down Sadler. Out wide to Dellenbach, and now the Miners with an opportunity as Dellenbach looking to play it in the cross into the box, and Ivy Wengreen off her line to cut it out. Wengreen once more will punt it away. 15 seconds left. Out to Jensen. Jensen trying to connect with Miller. Nice step defensively from Park City with an opportunity now to play it up. Time's running out. Galindo, and that'll do it. We've reached the end of the first here in the 4A championship match between the number 1 Green Canyon and the number 3 Park City, and we're tied at 0-0. Tumalip, your thoughts on that first half?
Well, it went about, I think, as I expected, or I think most of us expected in that first half. Two evenly matched teams, really, really even on both sides. Can't really be surprised with the result, but you can't say it's for lack of effort. Both teams have had a lot of good chances in that first half. I think it's only a matter of time right now in Annapolis before someone finds the breakthrough.
I really liked how Green Canyon started. They were nice build-up play, spraying passes all over the field. Had some good opportunities, but like I said in that last one, Park City really grew into the game, and now it's kind of been a little bit of back and forth. What do both teams have to do in the second half to find that breakthrough?
Well, of course, you know, Abby Hastings has been a terror for Green Canyon. I mean, they have just been finding space among those fullbacks every single time they go up the pitch. I'm surprised they hadn't gone to her more in the first half, but every time they went to her, she seemed to have space everywhere she went down the channels. Now, the other side for Park City, Abby Hansen has to win those one-on-one battles. In the first few minutes, they gave the ball to her, and she won those one-on-one battles. During the last 20, 30 minutes of the first half, after she had that injury, we really didn't hear from her that much. Park City really has to get her more involved in the attack in the second half, and the other thing is they need to stop with the sloppy giveaways. They especially almost made them pay late in that first half.
And so that's going to do it here for the first half on the Rewind Sports Network. Make sure to stick with us for second half action when we return. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, presented by Heidemann & Associates. We're here once more at America First Field, located in beautiful Sandy. And Alex Tumalip, the weather, I mean, just looking over here at the mountains behind the stadium, it is incredible out here today.
Yeah, 75 degrees I think it was at that kickoff here. It's still a little weird to call it America First Field, though, I will just say that. I'm still always used to calling it Rio Tinto Stadium, but let me tell you what. Things are heating up on the field, too, because, you know, both teams have gone back and forth in what was a really evenly matched first half between the two sides.
It's been a good one so far here in the 4A championship match. We're tied at 0-0 as we get ready to kick off the second half. Remember that we have championships all day here on KSLSports.com. Lone Peak edging out a 5-0 win in 6A. We're here for 4A, and make sure to join us later this afternoon when the 5A kicks off between the Bountiful Redhawks and Maple Mountain. But first, we have an intriguing second half upon us because, like you said, this has been an evenly matched game.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, and if you looked at it on paper, you said, okay, number one against number three, something's got to give, right? Well, we said coming in, Annapolis, it was going to be the best offensive team in 4A against the best defensive team in 4A. Right now, both teams have had their moments. You saw Park City with their moments going forward, and you had Green Canyon with their moments going forward. You had a whole bunch of different overarching storylines in that first half that no one was really able to dominate that first half. So heading into the second half, you got to be thinking as a fan here, okay, what's it going to take for this thing to break open? Because at some point, someone is going to get a chance and someone is going to take advantage.
Looking at these two sides, both of them coming in with impressive win streaks. Green Canyon has an 11-game win streak. Their last loss coming in region play to Mountain Crest, last year's champion. And then for Park City, they haven't lost a game since August 10th. That is the second week of the season, and they've been on a roll since.
Yeah, that is impressive. They haven't lost in almost 3 or 4 months now. Unbeaten in the last 3 or 4 months if you count the penalty shootouts as draws, which I do. But this is a big second half for both of these teams. We'll see who can take control of this early here in the first 5 minutes. First 5 minutes are always going to be critical in championship matches.
We're underway once more here at America First Field, and Green Canyon get us started here. Winder on the attack, looking to take a shot from distance safely into the hands of Olivia Johnson. Park City will boot it away. Bringing it down is Retzer in the middle of the park. Hassel gets a foot on it. That ball slips through Roderick. And Roderick recovers and will just play it up. Sutton Hole trying to recover, and now here comes the Park City Miners with Retzer, who unfortunately can't get a good touch on that ball. It's now for Cragen, and ball given away. Throw-in coming up for Green Canyon. And that ball goes out of bounds and out. Throwing once more for the Wolves. Again, Green Canyon here looking for their first girls soccer state championship. The boys won it in the spring. The girls looking to do the same here today against Park City. Park City looking to end their drought. The last title coming in 2005 for the Miners. That ball in the middle of the park for Winder. Winder looking to play to Sadler. Nicely cut out by Remy Rogers. And now Rogers from her center back position looking to play it up. Intercepted by Haberstick. Hastings now for Green Canyon against Roderick. Hastings still in possession. Cuts it back. Nice step from Roderick to cut it out defensively. Roderick looking to play it up. Hastings gets a touch on it. Out of bounds. Throw coming up for Park City. Sadler brings it down. Pass to Cragen. To Ma. Ma out wide to Jensen. Jensen with a heavy touch. Gets past Yeager. And now here comes Jensen. To Winder. Winder looking to float one in towards Miller. Remy Rogers is there to get a touch. And then Hazel Cook clears it out. Nice battle there for the ball as Salem Hole trying to get to it. Park City win it back. Olsen plays it up to Sutton Hole. And now lands at Retzer. Handball. We'll have a free kick coming up for Green Canyon.
Yeah, you can tell right now a lot of these passes just feeling it out, just feeling each other out right now. We're in the second half. Very, very cautious almost compared to the first half, but another thing I keep noticing is that Park City keeps always building up with 2, and Green Canyon keeps building up with 3. Again, the outnumbered at the back really could play a role here in the second half.
Olsen will settle it out to Roderick. Back to Olsen, one of the goal scorers in that semifinal matchup against Stansbury. In the middle now for Roderick. Roderick will settle it to Retzer. Retzer has options, plays it out wide to Leah Yeager. Yeager now trying to get around Jensen. Yeager from her fullback position looking to cross it into the box. Off of Jensen. Corner kick coming up for the Miners. Set piece opportunity.
That's really the first time, Napolis, we've seen Park City in possession go down the field like that from a fullback's position. Good possession there from the Park City Miners. And again, another set piece here. Looks like they got same formation. They got everybody lined up on the top of the 18 trying to charge into that box and create havoc.
Hassel will cross it in near post. Looking for the back. Just skips over just about everyone that was in the area, and it'll go out for the goal kick.
Boy, that was close. It wouldn't have taken a whole lot for that sucker to go in the back of the net. May have also hit off a Green Canyon head, too, and gone in the back of the net. Chance to build out from the back here for Green Canyon.
Nice pressure originally from Park City, but ultimately commits the foul, and now Green Canyon can clear their lines with the free kick.
But I will say, Napolis, if you're defending and you're building and counterattacking, you'll take that. You'll take that foul because it slows down the play, it mucks everything up in the back, and you don't give away any dangerous chances. You force the opposing team to build out from the back.
Cut out by the Miners again, and then heavy touch will put it back through as Wheeler plays it to Goebel. Goebel out wide to Ma. Ma has an opportunity to carry. Settles it for Miller. Miller trying to connect with Jensen, but Jensen was coming back. Can't connect. Out for the throw. Off the head of Retzer. It'll land at the feet of Goebel. Green Canyon now in possession across the back line with Wheeler, who will play it out to Haberstick. Wheeler will play it up. Cut out by Park City. Sadler trying to bring it down. Does. And then a nice defensive step from Hassel, but a foul called. Free kick coming up for Green Canyon.
So now Green Canyon's turn. And again, this is from another dangerous area, right in the middle of the goal, about 30, 40 yards out. Got a lot of options here for Green Canyon.
It's going to be Goebel to take as she'll look to float one in. And it'll just go out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Substitutions coming up for the Miners. Here with 33:50 left to go, still tied at 0-0. And we'll take the opportunity to remind you that Advanced Windows is having their fall window sale. Get $2,000 off 10 windows or more, 60 months, 0% interest financing available for a limited time only. Call 801-850-9100. Again, that's 801-850-9100 for $2,000 off 10 windows or more. Out wide to Ma as Green Canyon looks to play one in once more in the attacking third. Ma out wide to Jensen. Tracks it down, trying to keep it in. Supports herself with Ma. And Ma, who uses her left, probably not the dominant foot there for Ma as that one goes out of bounds and out. Goal kick.
Yeah, I think she was trying to. I think she was trying to hit a left foot first timer cross into the back post, it looked like, or maybe she used the wrong foot. I don't know, but that didn't look good. But that might be an opportunity here for Green Canyon.
Cragen wins it high up the pitch. Here comes Jensen. Back to Cragen. Nicely cut out by Hazel Cook. And now Cook will play it out wide. Here comes Kint. Kint up to Retzer. And that ball goes out of bounds and out.
And that's the first time all day, Annapolis, you talked about the counterattacking ability of Park City. That's the first time all day where we've seen them in open space. That time they had 3 against 2 up the back. And that time Green Canyon a little bit shaky. First time we've seen that all afternoon from their defense.
Retzer trying to win it high up the pitch. Green Canyon looking to clear their lines. One back by Park City. Nice press from the Miners. Here comes Olsen to Retzer. And it'll go back out to Hassel. And cut out by Haberstick, who will just boot it away. Lands at Winder. Winder to Jensen. And now Green Canyon have an opportunity to counter, but too much. Miller cuts it out. And then Hazel Cook coming across defensively. Throw-in coming up for the Wolves here on the near side as Ma plays it in. Winder can't get the best of touch on it. Now it's Kint. Out wide to Yeager. Yeager has options. Yeager carrying. Looking to play it out. Does. Sutton Hole with an opportunity for Park City. Near the edge of the box. Leaves it for Hanton. Hanton will look to switch play. Chased down by Olsen. Nice lead done there by Hanton to switch the plane of attack. The cross comes in. Wheeler with a header. Comes back towards the middle of the park, and Rogers will look to float one in. And that one will just trickle through out of bounds for the goal kick.
In the last 3 minutes, we've seen counterattacks go up and down the pitch that time. One from Park City, and then another from Green Canyon, and another from Park City that time. You can tell play is starting to open up just a little bit here, Annapolis, here in the beginning part of the second half, just as we thought.
Ball booted up and away by Goebel. And it goes out of bounds and out. Green Canyon now have a throw-in on the near side. It's going to be Kelsley Ma to take. Playing it in. Takes a deflection and it will land at Retzer. Retzer against Sadler. Sadler just picking that one out. And that ball goes out wide to Hastings. Hastings now cutting it into the box. Brought down. Referee says play on. Nothing there. Haberstick to Sadler, who will settle it for Knight. It's now Cragen. Slowing things down, scanning the field, looking for options as that ball now falls at the feet of Chloe Sadler. Sadler near the edge of the box. That's going to be a crunching tackle, and we have a penalty. Chloe Sadler brought down inside the box, and now Green Canyon have a penalty.
Well, it was only a matter of time before Sadler found that space down that far channel. I thought that was a foul outside, maybe by a couple of inches outside the penalty area, but good spot there by the referee to make sure that call was made. And now, like you said, Annapolis, It was off a set piece. Chloe Sadler scored. Maybe the freshman now gets a chance to step up and hit the biggest penalty potentially of her life here in the championship match. And it looks like it is going to be Chloe Sadler to take the spot kick. Like I said, biggest spot kick of her life coming up right here.
Chloe Sadler, the freshman, has an opportunity to put Green Canyon ahead. 29-26 on the clock. Chloe Sadler against Olivia Johnson from 12 yards out. Steps up, puts it into the back of the net. And it's the freshman, Chloe Sadler, who scores. The number 1 seed takes the lead.
Like we said, Annapolis, it was only a matter of time before somebody found the breakthrough, and this time it was a defensive mistake by Park City. They've been so good defending all throughout the first 50-so minutes of this match, but a slip-up at the back allows Chloe Sadler to get in behind, draws the foul that leads to the penalty kick, and just like that, Green Canyon, 50 minutes in, finally find the breakthrough.
How about the freshman?
I don't think Chloe Sadler's a freshman anymore. Step right up.
Ice in her veins as she puts that one into the back of the net, and 1-0 Green Canyon lead.
And now the question is, Annapolis, for Park City, how do you respond? You've taken the first punch. Green Canyon's taking advantage of their opportunity. Now can you respond here and hold the fort here in the next 3 or 4 minutes? Because you know Green Canyon is going to be coming with everything they've got now.
Nice step from Remy Rogers to cut it out, and now Park City have an opportunity to break. Kint looking to switch it over to Hansen. Hansen can't bring it in, and that ball's going to go out of bounds and out for the throw. Haberstick on the far side. Playing it in, and coming across is Wheeler to clear it out. Throwing coming up for Park City. Up the sideline. Wheeler will just cover and let that one go out of bounds and out for the goal kick.
If you're Park City right now, Annapolis, you cannot force the play here. We saw this happen in our last final between AF and LP, where they kind of forced the play a little bit, and that caused more mistakes. If you're Park City right now, you still have 28 minutes, and you're only down 1. I know it feels like 100, but you got to make sure you hold the fort here for these next few minutes, because Green Canyon's got some life now. They have some juice, and they've got Park City on their heels. Their defense has to step up and dig deep here in this next 3 or 4 minutes.
Austin Miller looking to get around her defender. Hassel comes across, gets a boot, taken down. We're going to have a free kick coming up as Austin Miller brings down Kendall Hassel.
By the way, Chloe Sadler is a freshman, and she just scored the 2 biggest goals of her life in back-to-back games. Who the heck's writing that script?
That ball, Ivy Wengreen dangerously off her line to just boot it away. Throwing coming up for Park City, looking to play it quickly. Wheeler gets ahead on it. And now coming the other way is Hastings for Green Canyon. Hastings gets past one. Ball filtered through. Austin Miller running off of it, and Hazel Cook coming across to just boot it away. Now, you may or may not know, our listeners and viewers, Chloe Sadler, daughter of head coach Kurt Sadler. And so we talked to Kurt before the match, and we said, hey, for you as a father, how did it feel to see Chloe Sadler step up and curl that free kick in to put you guys in this game? And he was nothing but proud of what Chloe Sadler has been able to do for this team. And now we have the penalty to put them ahead, and it's once again Chloe Sadler stepping up.
How much you want to bet Annapolis if this score holds and Green Canyon wins the trophy? How much you want to bet she's the first one that takes the trophy?
I believe it here as Lauren Kint trying to play it out as Chloe Sadler cuts it out. Chloe Sadler, here comes the freshman, has options, does. Played out wide to Knight. Back into Miller, who tries to hit it first time. That's Jensen who tried to hit it first time. And now ball coming out for Green Canyon, intercepted by Park City. Coming the other way is Sutton Hole. Back into the middle, looking and cut out by Winder. Winder tries to filter one through. Nice step defensively from Park City. Out wide to Hastings. Hastings cuts inside, cleared out, booted away by Remy Rogers. And now Park City, it's a foot race as Goebel will just shield that one and let Wengreen come off the line to collect.
I'm going to say right now, you don't think Chloe Sadler's confident? I mean, how about that? A couple of dribbles through the defenders and then slots that into the open channel. Just unfortunate that Jensen wasn't able to get a cleaner hit on that thing, because that was a great opportunity created there by Chloe Sadler.
That ball up the sideline. Hazel Cook will look to play it out. Does, and it's going to be a throw coming up for Green Canyon. And it's funny you mention it because for the first 7 or so minutes of that second half, I was thinking, where's Chloe Sadler? They've done a good job of icing her out of the game a little bit. You didn't really see Chloe Sadler step up to start the second half, and then all of a sudden, she gets a little bit of room and a little bit of space, draws the penalty, and now Chloe Sadler has all the confidence in the world.
And like I said, Napolis, that's what it takes. Sometimes in these matches where it's so tight and so compact, it only takes one big mistake for your team to be magnified in that moment. And like I said, all it took was just for that little bit of space in between the fullbacks. I'm on that sideline, and we talked about early on the wide channels were giving Park City fits. That time it was Sadler that was causing fits in the wide channels. When it was the first half, it was Abby Hastings. So great job diversifying the attack there by Kurt Sadler.
Roderick will now look to play it up, trying to find Sutton Hole. As that ball is won by Hole, only momentarily, as Wheeler has to come across and just clear.
Yeah, Wheeler, if you're Wheeler, you just got to boot that thing into the stands. I mean, I know you're trying to play for the throw-in at that point, but you got to take it safe. You got to know where you are on the field. You got to just boot that thing into the stands. Nice
little bit of skill there from Abby Hanton to flick it over. And now here comes Park City with Retzer. Or excuse me, that's Kint. And lost out by Madeline Reddy. Here playing the other way is Green Canyon. That ball filtered through. Nice through ball to Hastings. Hastings taking it in. Has the opportunity. The shot. Big save by Olivia Johnson. The junior coming up huge to keep this at 1-1. Or excuse me, 1-0.
That could be the biggest save of the match thus far. What a great opportunity. And again, it's those wide channels. And again, it's Hastings, Napolis getting in behind the fullbacks. Again, pressing with 2, but you're building with 3 or 4. And again, I was worried about that in the second half. Park City just continues to get sliced and diced down those wide channels. I'm surprised Tony DeChico has just not done a whole lot to close down those spaces, because they're just allowing way too much space for Hastings to roam in that wide channel.
There's a saying in football that saves like that are almost just as good as a goal on the other end, because you've made a huge save to keep your team in this one. Let's see how Park City responds.
And remember that save right there, too. That could be a huge save to keep Park City in the ball game.
Sadler now looking to play it up for Green Canyon. Out wide behind J.C. Knight. And so that ball goes out of bounds and out. Throwing coming up as Yeager plays it in. Brought down by Reddy, who loses it. And it's now Green Canyon once more with Jensen looking to float one through to Sadler. Sadler pokes one out to Hastings, and here comes Green Canyon once more on the attack. Hastings to Jensen. Heavy touch from Jensen. Remy Rogers coming across defensively. And now Park City can play it out. Looking to use Sutton Hole's speed. And covered well by Haberstick, who will just play it all the way back to Wengreen.
They're just forcing it up the pitch now, Annapolis. They're just trying to force it to get on the counterattack, and Green Canyon just dropping back. It looks like they're still in that umbrella shape 3-5-2, but there's just no room to operate right now. Green Canyon is just sniffing out every pass, and nothing is coming easy for that Park City offense right now.
Sadler out to Haberstick. looking to play it up the pitch towards Hastings, but it goes out of bounds and out. Park City throw coming up. Mass substitution coming up for Park City.
Annapolis, as we head into the final 21 minutes of regulation, the question becomes now, if you're Green Canyon, when do you pick and choose your times to go forward? When do you pick and choose your times to attack? You can't obviously sit back. You can't obviously make a couple defensive substitutions and think you can hold out for 20 to 30 minutes, especially when it's like 80 degrees down on the field. But then again, you don't want to take your foot off the gas either. And then for Park City, you got to find a way to slow down the play and make it predictable. They've just made it so predictable on themselves and have helped out Green Canyon's cause a lot here in the last 10 minutes.
Winder looking to play one through into Sadler. Nicely cut out by Park City. And the ball back with Green Canyon. Here comes Jensen. Back to Allen. Allen to Austin Miller. Miller trying to turn. And nicely cut out once more. Retzer this time stepping up with the interception. Ball out wide to Galindo. Galindo looking to bring it in. Lost to Hastings. Hastings and Galindo getting physical. Nice job there from Galindo to force the throw. And no, they will say it ultimately came off of Galindo.
And as they're making the substitution, did you see how many white shirts for Park City were around Chloe Sadler on that last pass there? There were 3 defenders all around her on that last play. You could tell they do not want her getting another touch. Here they come again.
The cross into the box, going for Chloe Chambers, who can't redirect it on frame. And out for the goal kick. Good opportunity for Green Canyon to extend the lead. As we'll have a stoppage in play.
I think we got a loose ball in the field.
Yeah, the ball that was over the net. Now will be played out by Olivia Johnson. Remy Rogers. Up the pitch now to Hassel. Hassel trying to filter one through. Allen can't get a touch. Comes back, recovers well. Throwing coming up for Park City. Yeager here on the near side. Will float one in. That ball booted away by Green Canyon. We'll have another Park City throw coming up. As Yeager again here on the near side to throw it in. Looking for a long throw up the sideline. Allen coming across defensively. Nice there from Eliza Allen, as that it will be Yeager again on the throw. Leah Yeager. Sophia Thim looking to play one into the middle of the park as Galindo comes across and wins it for Park City. Roderick out wide. Stolen by Green Canyon. Haberstick trying to clear. Galindo gets a touch. Goal kick coming up for Green Canyon. Played out quickly, and Green Canyon here, they have the lead, and they can just kind of play with that ball back in their own defensive third. Just keep it away from Park City to make sure that they don't have that opportunity.
Yeah, but the other thing is, too, Annapolis, like I said earlier, is you don't want to get too defensive and go into a shell like American Fork did against Skyridge. After the first goal went in, they just sat back and played defense for the next 65 minutes. Of course, you want to pick and choose your time to go forward if you're Green Canyon, but you don't want to be so wide open that you leave yourself vulnerable at the back, but you can't afford to take your foot off the gas.
Here comes the Wolves. Winder will play it out wide to Haberstick. Brought in by Jensen. And now one back by Park City. Here comes the Miners. That's a heavy touch from Holder, who now gets it out wide to Galindo. And an opportunity for the Miners as Galindo wants to cross into the box, but Wheeler is there defensively trying to get around Wheeler. And that ball poked out. Throwing coming up for Park City.
There's just no room to operate on any of the channels right now, especially in the midfield, trying to get to the middle of the park there in Annapolis. They just don't have any room right now. That Green Canyon defense is really stacked up in the last few minutes.
Looking for that long throw into the box. lands at the feet of Park City and then brought down. Nothing there from the official as that ball is cleared. And now it's a foot race between Roderick and Chloe Chambers. Out of bounds now, Park City throw. Looking to throw it in quickly. Retzer, nice step there from Sadler. That ball out of bounds and out. Throwing coming up for Green Canyon. We'll have some substitutions coming up as well. This part of the match brought to you by Heinemann Associates. Heinemann Associates, a flat rate law firm that is completely focused on you. Get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742 or go to utah.law to find the office nearest to you.
And, of course, speaking of which, Heinemann Associates, proud sponsor of the keys to the match and also the woman of the match, whom, of course, UNI Annapolis will be selecting.
That ball out wide to Hastings. Hastings looking to cross it into the box. Roderick there defensively. Hastings playing it back to Sadler. Sadler with a nice little bit of move there. As Sadler now at the edge of the box. Heavy touch. Trying to get around her defender. Out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Substitutions coming up. This time for the Miners.
It does seem that Chloe Sadler is getting a little bit more active as we approach down to the final 10 minutes of this match, Annapolis. You talked about how it took only one real chance for her to wake up in the second half, and that was the little space she got in between the fullback and the center back on that right side of the channel. That allowed her to draw the penalty that eventually she scored. And now it looks like she's getting a little bit more space here toward this last 14 or 15 minutes.
That ball up the sideline for Leah Yeager as Park City needs some kind of response here. They're running out of time at America First. Yeager will now play it up the sideline out of bounds as it took the deflection off of Ma. And now throw in that is lands at the feet of Hassel. Nicely stolen there by Winder. Winder against Hassel. Kendall Hassel trying to cover, but Winder gets around. Ball filtered through to Hastings. Opportunity for the Wolves as Hastings plays it back in on her left. Gets around Rogers, and then Roderick coming across to cut it out. Corner kick coming up for Green Canyon.
And more pressure there from that Green Canyon attack that time. And again, Park City gets cut out. And where was it? Where was Annapolis? We keep hammering it home. The wide areas of the pitch have been just free grass running for these Wolves forwards all afternoon long, and it just hasn't changed.
Sadler will play it in, but it hits the wrong side of the net. Goal kick coming up for Park City. And now with an opportunity to play out, here comes the Miners. Remy Rogers will just boot this one away. Out wide, looking for Salem Hole. Throw-in coming up for Park City. Remy Rogers against Winder. Nice step from Winder to win it back. Here comes Cragen. Cragen to Chloe Chambers. Chambers losing out possession. One back by Park City. Here comes Olsen. Playing it up for Dellenbach. And out of bounds and out. Green Canyon throw. 12:24 left to go here in the second half. It is a 1-0 lead for Green Canyon off a penalty from Chloe Sadler. The number 1 seed currently has one hand on that trophy. Can the Miners get back into this one with 12 minutes to go?
Something also to watch here, Annapolis, as we go down towards the final 10 minutes of the match, is those Park City defenders are looking a little ragged out there, especially those in the midfield. We've seen a lot of missed passes here in the last few minutes. How much longer can Park City's defense hold up against the Green Canyon onslaught, which has been seemingly coming in waves ever since the Chloe Sadler penalty?
Cut out by the Wolves. Here comes Winder. They're looking to play it up against Hassel. That ball goes out wide to Hastings. Hastings against Roderick. Hastings using her speed. Johnson doesn't get the cleanest of punches on the ball, and now Green Canyon still in the attack with Jensen. Yeager gets a foot on it. Throwing coming up for Green Canyon. Ma plays it into Miller. Miller gets around Olsen. Miller near the top of the 18. Miller trying to tee up a shot. Nicely cut out. Cragen will now try it from distance. And a big save by Johnson.
It was only a matter of time, Napolis, before that long shot created some havoc. They were bunched up in the middle there, Green Canyon, Park City's defense keeping everybody back. And you can tell the tired legs now maybe starting to set in a little bit as we head towards the 10-minute mark here. Almost 70 minutes played.
Set piece opportunity coming up for Green Canyon. As that ball will be floated in near post. Remy Rogers is there with a header. Retzer now looking to play it up the pitch. Does. Brought down, and here comes Dellenbach. Will only be one back by Green Canyon. In the middle now for Winder. Winder will play one wide to Sadler. Chloe Sadler on that far side wing. Back to the top of the 18. Winder with the shot into the hands of Olivia Johnson. And you got to give credit to Johnson, who has come up time and time again to keep Park City in this one here in the second half. Ball out of bounds, and Yeager will go into the book.
Yeah, that's not a smart foul by Yeager right there. I was just about to talk about how Sadler's taken over the second half, and that is not a smart foul by Yeager. I mean, you're down 1 goal, 9:42 to go. The ball's going out of play. The ball's already out of play. The reasons you had to do that was beyond me, Napolis. It's just not smart. You got to know where you are on the field.
Lulu Brown will check in for Leah Yeager. And now Green Canyon once again with possession with 9:30 left to go here in the second half. It's a 1-0 Wolves lead. Park City need to get something going here to try to get back into this one. Olivia Johnson coming up time and time in the second half. And now that ball looking to play it up the sideline. Chloe Sadler now near the middle of the park. Will settle it to Cragen. Cragen will play it up to Miller. Miller gets around Hazel Cook, and now Austin Miller has a chance. Cuts to her right. The shot. Remy Rogers coming up huge. And unfortunately is down after the play. But Remy Rogers making a huge defensive effort to make sure Miller couldn't get that shot off.
Man, you talk about all-out effort right there. That's probably going to leave a big old bruise tomorrow morning. Like, what a defensive play right there by Rogers, as you said, Napolis. And again, the Park City defense just finding ways to respond time and time again, but they have been defending for large portions of this second half, Napolis.
Sadler brings it down, trying to play it to Haberstick. Comes off of Ingrid Haberstick, and so throwing coming up for Park City as Retzer just can't reel that one in. And at this point of the game, you got to get better touches on that ball to make sure you have that possession.
Yeah, heavy legs definitely on both sides. Like I said, though, Park City might have the more tired legs because they've been defending for large swaths of the second half. And it's starting to pay dividends here for Green Canyon. They just look more and more dangerous here as we go down the stretch. Look out here.
Here comes Sadler near the top of the 18. Sadler cuts it back. The shot into the hands of Johnson. And once again, the junior goalkeeper keeps Park City in this one. And now a counterattack opportunity as Hanton trying to use her speed to get to that one. This could be a good opportunity for the Miners.
Yeah,
Hanson waiting for support.
Yeah, remember we saw Lone Peak score off a long throw against Layton. Looked like they were trying to set that up, but just no support back there, like you said, Napolis.
Hanson will play it in. That ball will land out of bounds and out. Goal kick coming up once more for Green Canyon. And with 7:20 left to go, time is running out for Park City. Here comes Sadler near the middle of the park. Chloe Sadler looking to play it up the sideline to Hastings. Hastings now using her speed to get in behind. Taking it to the edge of the box. Cuts back inside. Looking to play one through. Hastings still will shoot it. And it'll go on the other side of the post. Goal kick coming up.
How about Chloe Sadler? I mean, she has literally single-handedly taken over the second half. That ridiculous ball over the top, down the sideline to find Hastings, who's been creating havoc in those wide channels all afternoon for Green Canyon. It just is time and time again. It just seems to be the story. Sadler to Hastings, or when it's not Sadler to Hastings, it's everybody else who's going to Abby Hastings, and then more havoc gets caused.
Here comes Cragen to Winder. Winder to Sadler. Sadler looking to play it up the sideline once more to Hastings. That one will just go out of bounds and out for the goal kick. And right now we have a stoppage in play. I just want to talk about the support that this Green Canyon team has. They have absolutely packed the stands here at America First Field.
Well, take a look down at Park City. I mean, like you talk about like two teams that had to travel a far, far distance. I mean, Green Canyon, Park City, about on opposite sides of the ledger as you can get. It just is amazing to see how many parents and students have just come out. Even though it's fall break, it's a Friday afternoon, it's Aloha Friday, Pauhana Friday, whatever you want to call it. Still finding a way to come out and support these two teams. I mean, they've just given us a show this afternoon. It's remarkable.
Lulu Brown for Park City, 5:20 left to go. Hassel trying to play one through, gets to the feet of Dellenbach. Heavy touch. Coming back the other way now is Goebel, who will clear it out. Winder brings it down. One back by Kint. And Remy Rogers gets a header on it. Goswick coming across. Goswick will just boot it up. A little bit of miscommunication there between Haberstick and Cragen, but it ends up at the feet of Miller. Miller gets around Remy Rogers, and now Miller with an opportunity to put this one away, and does! It's a goal! It's in the back of the net, and Austin Miller has just possibly given the 4A title to Green Canyon, 2-0 with 4:40 left to go.
And you have to say, Annapolis, that goal has been coming. Park City has been worn down this entire second half. A lot of defending in their own end. And Austin Miller just sea-walks her way through a tired Park City defense. 76 minutes on the clock. You're right, Annapolis. That could very well have just put Green Canyon's hands on the 4A trophy for the first time ever. Still a long way to go, though.
Hastings will play it as Olsen comes across well defensively. 2-0, 4 minutes left. They say 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Unless, of course, if you're the U.S. against Mexico, then 2-0 is a comfortable lead, of course.
But with 4 minutes left, is that enough time for Park City to come back? We'll see as that ball is floated out wide to Chloe Sadler, who brings it down and will just slow things down for Green Canyon. Remy Rogers coming across, clears. Throw one coming up for Green Canyon.
You just talked about 4 minutes left for Park City to at least get one back in this ball game, Annapolis. I'm telling you right now, Green Canyon never won a girls' soccer state final in their entire school history. They're 338 away from history right now, but it's going to be the longest 338 of their lives right now. They have to be smart, and they have to make sure they don't take their foot off the gas.
Hastings looking to play one across, cleared out, and it'll land at the feet of Kint. Kint for Park City. Olsen now to Salem Hole. We'll play it back out to Kint. Kint looking to play it up the sideline. Nice step from Wheeler, out of bounds. Throw-in coming up for the Miners. Sadler there to cut it out, and it'll somehow land at Hastings. Hastings now has an opportunity to cut into the box. Will play it across the face of goal, given away and cleared out by Kendall Hassel. Sadler there will pick it up. Miller will take the shot. Big save by Johnson. And cleared out by Park City.
It just keeps being the story at Annapolis. I mean, Sadler, Hastings, and Miller, the front three, overwhelming right now. That back line for Park City. It just continues to be the story all day long. We've seen it throughout the second half where it just took one chance, one little inch of space for Sadler to get. Those three have single-handedly taken over the second half of this 4A final.
Sadler now in possession with time and space. And again, Sadler making a veteran move to just slow things down and make sure that just Park City cannot grab that ball.
Yeah, you can tell how highly the U.S. youth national teams think of her.
That ball into the hands of Johnson, now coming the other way for Park City.
It's Hail Mary time for Park City, Annapolis. Everybody got to get back here if you're Green Canyon. Don't worry about the ball. Just get back and be disciplined.
Hanson will now look to play one in over the top. Nice step from Goebel. Huge defensive read from Goebel as it was Sutton Hole running off of it. Throw-in coming up for Park City. Substitution coming up for Park City as well. Lulu Brown checking back in. 1:20 left to go. As that ball's floated over. Olsen will get ahead on it. Land at Sadler. Chloe Sadler looking to play it out wide to Hastings. Hastings cuts back inside, heads towards the middle. Does. Settles it for Miller. Miller, who looks to play one through to Jensen. Too much as it lands at the hands of Olivia Johnson. 55 seconds left. Not much time left here for Park City.
And Annapolis, we talked with Kurt Sadler, remember, before the match. He said the girls' team was fired up coming into this season. They wanted this moment. They wanted this stage. They wanted to be here. And now, as the crowd rises to their feet down on their left side,
they know it.
They know it now. 30 seconds away from history. Green Canyon about to lift their first ever girls soccer state championship.
Wengreen will punt this one away. Lands at Hassel. And now Chloe Sadler tracking back. 10 seconds left. And history has been made. For the first time since the opening of Green Canyon, the Green Canyon Wolves, the #1 in the RPI Girls Soccer State Champions. Off of goals from Chloe Sadler and Austin Miller, Green Canyon have done it. A boys' championship in the spring, a girls' championship in the fall, and 2023 is the year of the Wolves. All credit in the world to head coach Kurt Sadler right now. He took that boys team in the spring, made them champions for the first time, and now the girls' soccer team champions for the first time.
And how good does that have to feel for Green Canyon? I mean, who would have thought Green Canyon, undefeated coming into this, hadn't lost a match all season long, only dropped points in 2? For this team, I mean, to come in and not only defeat Park City, but it was the way they did at Annapolis. Their defense, we talked about how they had to be disciplined. They were disciplined to a T with a capital D today. Absolute masterclass defensively by Green Canyon. And when they had their opportunities, it was who else but Chloe Sadler, Hastings, and Miller that did the job.
I'm getting goosebumps up here. Like we said, the support from Green Canyon has been fantastic. The student section, the family, the fans, they've traveled well. And I'm getting goosebumps up here just watching them now with the opportunity to lift up that trophy.
Dude, I'm getting emotional. I feel like I'm getting emotional over here because you only remember your first championship once. And these girls, I mean, Kurt Sadler and these girls are going to remember this day in Green Canyon history for the rest of their lives. What an amazing day and what an amazing story for not only Green Canyon but for rural soccer as a whole. Amazing story.
And again, we got to give credit to Park City, who have had a fantastic year. To go from 5-11 last season, not making playoffs, coming into 4A, and making it into the championship match. All credit to head coach DeChico and his Park City side.
And like we said, Annapolis, this was such an evenly matched game. It's sad someone had to lose this, but this Park City team will be back. They left it all out on the field this afternoon. But when it came down to it, we talked about how evenly matched these two teams were and how it was going to come down to the little things on both sides. Guess what? Park City just never found their footing. Green Canyon did an outstanding job hemming this attack in. One of the highest scoring teams in 4A this season, who hit a team for 9 this season at Annapolis. Park City.
Park City now being presented the second place trophy here on the south side of the stadium. Again, congratulations, Park City, for making it. And we'll see you again next season. Now Kurt Sadler and his side heads over to the middle of the park, to the middle of America First Fields, where history is being made. And they'll get to hold up that state championship trophy for the first time in school history. And there it is! Green Canyon 4A state champions.
Someone needs to go in there and give Chloe Sadler the trophy stat.
Speaking of which, Alex, let's wrap it up with your player of the game.
I mean, it's so hard because like we talked about, what was the story of the day, Annapolis, the Heidemann Associates Woman of the Match? What was the story of the day? The story of the day was Miller, Hastings, and Sadler. Those three alone single-handedly turned the tide in the second half. But come on now. You got to go with Chloe Sadler, the freshman, stepping up in the biggest game of her life to this point. Yeah, she played with the youth national team against Germany and the Netherlands. Yeah, she went all through that. But this is a state championship game. This one matters more because you're playing for silverware. And for her to step up in that moment, to find the spaces, to find the channels, she's the biggest reason why the Green Canyon Wolves are raising a 4A state championship for the very first time.
And so that's going to do it for us here on the Rewind Sports Network, on KSLSports.com, as always, presented by Heidemann Associates. Hey, stick around. We still have 5A drama coming up as the Bountiful Redhawks take it on Maple Mountain for the 5A title. From Alex Napolis, Alex Tumalip, and Vince Francis on the camera, and from the entire Rewind Sports family, we thank you for watching. Come back for 5A. We'll be back